Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back to our little community. Sorry, I'm sharpening my pencil. Nothing like a little pencil sharpening at the beginning of your live. Hello, everybody. Just waiting on my laptop to, of course, catch up, which is always a delay. There we are. Hello, how are you? Welcome back. Hi, Lori. Welcome back, everybody. So I don't know if you were able to, or anybody saw my post today, but I did do a little prep work. I painted. Hi, Cece. Thank you for the heart me, Lori. I did go ahead and pre-mix the base coat for our project tonight. Turn on my light. So I ended up mixing this Paradise Green with oddly natural buff, even though it's got like a pinky base. And that's how I ended up with that base coat. So I think the first thing I need to do, I didn't even really think about this, is, oh my light just got uber bright. Hi, Cindy, how are you? Earlier the Wi-Fi went out. I don't know why. So hopefully, we're not having any storms or anything, so hopefully everything goes perfectly good. I'm good. Well, I have a fever tonight, so I guess that's not really good. Yeah, I think I got the boyfriend's crud. I was hoping I wasn't going to get it. I felt really bad on the 4th, but I had no fever. And then I've been fine. And then just about like 2 hours ago, I felt feverish. Yeah, well, the odd thing about that is I had COVID twice and he never got it. And I was super sick with COVID. So, thank you for I love you so much, Cindy. I appreciate. Yeah, it's a bummer. Hello, how are you? Welcome in, everybody. Yeah, I feel okay. It's just my problem is that I have a patient that is really immunocompromised, that I scheduled to see on Thursday. Probably would have seen him earlier, but he keeps falling. So he was getting stitches in his face today. Anyways. Oh, look at that. You've been part of my fan club for a whole month. Thank you. 1 whole month. That's great. I can't even believe that I've been doing this that long. So I started in April. Yeah. And then I was off for a few weeks, I think. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. So I did get a message from one of our community members, the young lady who can only be here on Thursday evenings. She will not be with us Thursday. They lost a dear friend on July 3rd. So I told her, hello, Judy. Well, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Again, remember, we do our own thing. Sometimes you have to modify. You're fine. I mean, you might have to darken or lighten your paints. But anyways, so she will not be with us Thursday. I told her we would still paint. We would still finish up the purple round. And then I would post it to the other location. So she was kind of sad because, you know, she knew everybody made accommodations for her, but I told her not to worry, that we would continue as planned, that we had already had a plan for tonight and tomorrow, and that we would just go ahead and work on this on Thursday, and then I would just upload it. So those of you that are here, I did upload that live. I don't know if anybody has been on that platform to look at it, but some of the comments have been filtered already. Yeah, I know. I mean, she was kind of sad, but I told her, I said, nobody's gonna mind. We're all one big happy painting family. So yeah. So I told her I would just upload it and then she would have it available. And then, yeah, so, but anyways, has anybody been able to check out those, uploads? Thank you for the sharing the live, Mika, Elaine. I appreciate that. Okay, so we got quite a few of people here. It's 8:04. Okay, good. Again, I haven't edited anything. So you can fast forward. I am not going to spend the time editing out anything. I just uploaded it. I just want to make sure that what's there is working. Okay, so tonight we, as a community, the color was green. This is a really vibrant, pretty green. It's called Paradise Green. I'm almost, if I had to say, like a borderline aqua, like almost a teal, but I did add it to some natural buff, and I got this really pretty background color. Okay, so Judy, have you been able to find my profile? So when you're here with me, if you go to the top left-hand corner, okay, all right, then when you get to my BIO, there's a line at the very bottom. If you utilize that and go into that, you have to, sometimes you have to agree and acknowledge that. If you need me to, send me a message here like we do, and I can send you the information. Hi, Tammy and Lynn. I am getting ready to paint on this round a mandala style dot art. So I feel like sometimes this platform makes it a little unnerving, because when you do certain things, it says, oh, wait, hold on, you don't want to do that. And it's literally okay. Yeah, so you just have to message me or I will forget. I'm just being perfectly honest, Judy. By the time we're done here, I'm lucky I remember what I'm doing tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark on mark our guide marks. I know this has come up before. I did not, this is not multi-surface paint. This is just acrylic craft paint. And I feel like I should be able to see these guide marks. You don't need a stencil, but as a beginner, I do find this much easier than a compass and a ruler. And before I go any further, hi, my name is Victoria. I am a registered nurse. I'm also a nurse practitioner student, and I paint mandala style dot art for my peace of mind. It is a very therapeutic, enjoyable art form. I try to, and I use the word teach very loosely. I try to show you beginner techniques so that maybe you can find your way into this art form as well. I actually started the live because I was finding myself not able to paint during semesters, university semesters. And this allows me to paint without the stress of not necessarily finishing a large piece. So I'm just marking these. I should be able to see these without issue. Normally I paint on a black background with a multi-surface paint. It is an acrylic craft paint, but this is a chalk pencil, pastel chalk pencil. You can use, oh gosh, I have heard somebody say they use a watercolor pencil, soapstone, anything that's going to mark on your surface that allows you to erase. So, what is it? Let's see. Okay. I use warm beige scrub. Oh, no worries. Hi, Jen. How are you? Thank you for the follow, Gladys. Where did you get the pencil? So, Tam Lynn. The best way to get, hi, Kara. The best way to get my supply list is in the bottom left-hand corner should be an orange box with a white arrow or something to that effect. If you shoot me a message there, you don't need to give me your email address. It's going to ask you for that. I don't know why. If you shoot me a message there, I can send you the beginner supply list. But yes, so some people use watercolor pencils. This is a pastel chalk pencil. Victoria. Kara, Victoria. Yes, so tonight I mixed, for this background, that I mixed natural buff with paradise green. So Tam Lynn, any questions, that's the best place to message me, because then I will get it and I won't forget. Okay. All right. So I went ahead and put my guide marks on here. Yeah, you're welcome. Welcome in too. But normally I paint on a black background. So this is only the third time since I've been painting dot art that I've painted on any other color other than black. Cool. That's fine. Paint on it. The only problem is you won't be able to do your guide marks because, if you do a base coat. But, I guess you don't necessarily need a base coat on a terracotta pot. You're scared. Well, hang out with us. We do things scared here because a lot of the stuff I do live and I just do it. There's no... Okay, so before I start, I do recommend some sort of record keeping, I guess, in short. This paper is 110-pound paper. Okay, it does not roll or anything like that. So it's a little thicker than cardstock or watercolor paper, but it's 110-pound paper. Now, the reason I do this is because I do mix a lot of custom palettes, and this allows me to keep track of what we're doing. Hello, Lisa. How are you? Okay. So, as you can see earlier today, I went ahead and mixed a few things. I actually mixed the Paradise Green with Sand Gray with Almondine and Natural Buff, and I chose the Natural Buff. I was surprised, even though this has like a pink base, that the color came out like that. So, if you're new here, you're in for a treat because I'm going to mix. Well, there are quite a few people that crochet here, and I cannot crochet. I have tried. My grandmother showed me, and I cannot do it. I'm good, Lisa. I'm good. I'm painting, so I'm really good. So if you're new here, say hi in the chat. Tell us where you're tuning in from. Thank you for liking the live, everybody. I appreciate that. Okay, so the way I do my custom palettes is the first pot. Okay, these are 15 mLs. Okay, so if you order them, the reason I get 15 is because then if I mix a custom palette and I do a large piece, you know, I mean, I do some large pieces. You know, I always have to come up to this. This is like 18 inches. So if I don't mix enough paint, I might have to mix in the middle of it. And I don't want to do that. So I usually pick the larger paint pots. All right. So my guidelines are off center. Judy, how bad? Thank you for the follow, Brittany. So the first one gets straight color. Okay. Then the next one gets a little bit less. A little bit. Hang on a minute. We had an explosion. So you can see some of my paint sit too long. Hang on a minute. If you wipe them up pretty quick, you should be fine. Hang on a minute. Let me get this situated here. Because I don't want that. There we go. Okay, just work with it. I mean, we're practicing today, so it should be fine. Hang on a minute. So when your paints sit for a while, even if you like shake them really well, sometimes you'll get paint that like settles in there. And it's like a skin, which I'm sure you've seen before. All right, so back to what I was doing. So this is a full amount of the paint, a little bit less, a little bit less, a little bit less, and then less. Now my goal though is that this very last one is still brighter than our base coat. 5K already, a paint booger. Okay, yes, a paint booger. It's weird. That's exactly what it looks like, no matter how much you shake it. Hi, thank you for the heart me, BG. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in forever. All right, so when I do the addition of the lighter color, I make everything even. Okay, so I'm evening this with this. Then I'm adding a little bit more. It's going to all pretty much be equal. Okay, oh, it's raining. All right, and then we spend a little time stirring. I am so glad you're here. How have you been? You've been painting. I know how you've been. You have been painting, and it's all beautiful. Nope, none in the first one. So the first one is straight paradise green or whatever green you decided to use. Yay! Okay, so I'm just going to spend some time mixing these. So if you're new here, say hi in the chat. We are a very friendly community from all over. But say hi in the chat. Tell us where you're tuning in from. Tell us if you've done dot art before, what you do for arts and crafts, what you're doing with yourself. Oh, I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm in Northeast Pennsylvania. Almost in New York, Bradford County. Welcome. We're almost neighbors. You're in Detroit. You are. Oh, Lehighton. Well, wait. Yeah, Lehighton. You know, you never really 100% sure how to say certain things. Places in Pennsylvania. Oh, it's raining hard. We've been here before, people. Eastern Ohio, yes. Is everybody getting rain now? Like we were hot for days and now it's raining. Oh, West Virginia. Okay. Cool. Nevada. Hi, Rebecca. How are you? Hello, Mafia Mama. No rain. So, you know, we had flood watches south of us. And we're like, we could use some of that rain. I guess we're getting it now. Flooded. Oh, okay. Did you, where's Nevada? No, Rebecca, did you have any flooding? I know Arizona had some significant flooding recently. Rain in Florida. Well, I think it rains in Florida all the time. Where are you in Florida? Wait, how did I not know that? Oh, Jesse, dark in Maine. Yeah. Thank you for becoming a fan member, Brittany. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's monsoon season for you, isn't it, Rebecca? BG, where are you in Florida? Oh, you're near Miami. Oh, okay. I'm a Martin County resident. I mean, I'm not there right now, but home is Southeast Florida. I grew up in Homestead. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah, before Andrew decided to annihilate Homestead, I graduated from Homestead. Thank you for the heart, me. Well, that's good, CC. Somebody needs to have good weather. Yeah. We had some friends down there when Andrew decided to come through that had nothing but a roof over one section of their place? And you're in Fort Lauderdale? You're moving to Tampa. Well, it's really busy in Tampa. I hope you have patience for traffic. Thank you for the follow, Jess. Tampa is one of those areas that borderlines Orlando with traffic. Yeah. To Virginia. Whereabouts in Virginia? I know somebody who lives like outside DC. I've literally been, I want to get out of Florida, maybe back to North Carolina. I love North Carolina. If I didn't end up, like, home's going to be here in Pennsylvania once I finish school. Been wanting to, hi, Jess, perfect. Perfect. I would move back to North Carolina. If I hadn't met my guy, I would be in North Carolina. I lived outside of Asheville. Tons of friends in Hendersonville. I lived outside Lake Lure. I have tons of friends there. So if I hadn't met him, that's where I would be right now. Suffolk. Oh, we teared up. Hard to explain Bassett, Martinsville. Okay. Judy, you became a fan club member, Judy. You are figuring out the TikTok. I love it. Judy. I remember, thank you for the follow, Johanna. I remember when I was getting on this platform, it was so confusing. And this whole live stuff is even a little bit more confusing. Okay, so what I do now is I take a tool and I go and I do a basically stroke. You can use a paintbrush or whatever you want to run the colors on the paper. Okay. So when you're doing the swooshes, make sure you go slow. My goal is, though, that all of the colors end up being brighter than my base coat, right? Because obviously that would make no sense if they're not. Okay, so these two are like almost... These two are almost the same color. It's a little lighter. But the concern is that we're going to get too light. So this is, hang on, let me do this. Okay, that's still darker than that. And then this is the lightest color. Am I on screen? I don't even know. Hang on a minute. Let me move up. Sorry. Thank you for the heart, me. Okay, so... All right. The only thing is these two are really close. And then this is pretty close to what I have here, which is fine. So I think I'm just going to add a little green to this one to darken it up a little bit, and then we'll proceed. Oh, and on here, I'm just using a tool, and I'm just not, like, I'm not I'm just kind of dragging it slowly. I know, I'm excited about this one too. I think I get excited about all of them though. So I'm just going to add a little bit of green to that first one and just try and darken it up a little bit. I did think that if we wanted accent colors, we would use some of that Tiger Lily orange. See how that looks? The only thing when you are mixing your custom palettes, you need to mix these really, really good. And then you can see why I use this paper, because if you, so like say you run out, say you progress and you're doing these big projects and everything. If you don't do this, you're going to have a hard time matching up your colors. Now, they don't have to ever be like 100% perfect, but this really helps when you want to try and match stuff up. All right, so this should be a little darker. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So yeah, I'm just using an acrylic rod. I'm not using a paintbrush or anything for this particular part. I used to, but just for the sake of the live, I'm not. Do you sell the little paint? I do not. Thank you for thank you, Jen. I don't, but they are in my little, they're in my supply list. Okay, so is everybody good here? I know we're off. So it was Paradise Green and Natural Buff. And then, and just various amounts. Thank you for liking the live, everybody. I appreciate that. All right, let's get rid of this. Get that, and I'm gonna get rid of my book here. Let that dry. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that too, because that is a mess. Ah! No matter what I do, I get green. I get all kinds of colors on me. Okay. Question. I feel like the orange is a good accent color, but I also feel like this might be a good accent color too. The bronze, I think that's Bronze Penny. So, Tam, all you need to do is message me in that bottom orange box. Which should be in the bottom left-hand corner. Okay, so unfortunately I can't do it while I'm live. I'm not that talented. Yeah, after the live, I will send you the whole list and you'll be all set. Tam, do you have any, do you have tools? Or are you like just tuning in and never done any dot art? Yeah, if you're new here and you've never done dot art, let me know. Some of the people here have been with me for several weeks now. Okay, all right, good. So you're ahead of the game there. Perfect. Okay, so those of you that are new, this is what we call dotting tools. On this side, this is a pretty standard set. They come in different, there's many different kinds, but this is kind of a standard looking set with these colors. This side, all of them are the same size tool. When you flip them over, if I can do that, which I can never do in one, these are different size on this side. So if you take a lesson and somebody says, I'm going to use the small end of the green tool, they're talking about this end. They say the large end, they're talking about this end. Now, some of them come marked with the millimeter marks, but I don't know what they are. Thank you for the heart puff. I appreciate you. Okay. Judy, you are really... You are really learning the TT platform here. Thank you, Sean Shine, for the follow. I appreciate you. Thank you, Judy. And thank you all for liking the live. Okay. So that's, those things, those tools. The other set of tools would be acrylic rods. Okay. Now, you don't have to have any tool at all. You can use toothpicks, Q-tips, the ends of pencils, the ends of paintbrushes. I mean, whatever you can think of that can make a dot, you can use that. So this is a set of acrylic rods, and it various sizes. I don't normally use this one unless I'm doing a large piece. This is one I might use for this live, but normally it's something like this size. And then we use the other rods for when I'm doing our stones. So sometimes we paint what I call love stones, and then we use the acrylic rods for the various sizes. Up and down. I call these love stones because they're very loosely heart-shaped. This one's actually pretty good, but so sometimes we do that. The community's kind of gotten a little more advanced, so we have been doing more rounds. Thank you for the donut. I appreciate that. Okay. So I am going to start by doing my center dot. When you do your center dot, you want enough paint. Okay? You should have enough paint where when you go down with your tool, you get a nice little domed center dot. Hi, Texas Gal. Okay, so that's step one. I actually do think I'm going to accent that with this copper penny. Okay, now normally I would start super tiny, but I'm going to start with the larger end of the yellow. Thank you for the follow, Sharon. All right. If you're new to doing the dots, okay, your dot and my dot are going to be totally two different sizes. Okay? I have learned that no matter what I did, I could never match my instructor's dot sizes. The goal is that your dots are consistent. They're not touching, and they're not running. Okay? Sometimes you have to tap your dot out to get enough paint. The goal is, though, that you will get muscle memory where you know how much paint you need. I know. Well, this was like a little bit of I'm going to use this color because I think it kind of goes hand in hand with what we did last night. So just make sure your goal is that you do the same size dot. You don't touch. Now, if you find your dots get larger, you might have to wipe off your tool because paint accumulates on it. Okay. Going back to that one a little bit. Now, I will say that the rounds that I paint on are cheap wood. Okay, they're not finished wood or anything like that. So sometimes when I use the regular acrylic paint, it does not fill in the wood grain very well and things start to run. So if you run into that, know that that's what's happening. It's not because you don't know what you're doing. It's just your paint is running in between the wood grain. To prevent that, maybe you need a thicker coat of paint. So paint it once, go back and paint it again. The only thing is you need to let this paint set before you do your guide marks or you won't be able to erase them. Okay? I am using the large end. Okay, for the center dot, it was the blue. Thank you for the follow, Lily. And for these dots, I'm using the large end of the yellow. Now, I'm going to pause because you want to make sure you can get dots in here. You could. I'm lazy. I would just usually do another coat. The difference is usually with the multi-surface paint, with this paint, it's a satin and it's multi-surface, so it tends to fill in those. But when you're using something other than that, it's a little thinner, so you're not going to get the best coverage. So sometimes you need to use a little bit more paint. All right, so I'm going to say 2. Okay. All right, so we got that done. And yes, you could sand it. Some people actually, I feel like some people put down like a sealer first. I'm lazy. I just want to paint. But I find that, thank you for the follow, AR. I feel like using that multi-surface black satin provides a better coverage. Now, I have used like spray paint. Like I've used chalk paint, but in the spray can. I feel like that does give a pretty good coverage. But I've never used that on these wood rounds. I just want to paint. I don't know. Okay. So let's just kind of go down in the color variant. The 15. Wow, you guys are tapping away tonight. Thank you so much. So let's go and I think we'll go to the large end of the white. I crack myself up sometimes too. Now you will find artists that go in between every one, and I don't do that. I am here to paint. I am not here to count. Should I? Maybe I should. I just here to paint. Okay? Here to paint. Now, I will say that when you add white or lighter colors to your base paint, they might get thinner. Okay? So you might get bigger dots. Like these are way bigger. Okay? They may run. So I caution you to put them, be careful where you put them. Okay? Hopefully we don't need to erase any mistakes, but if we do, I gotcha. I'll show you how to do that. Hi, Wanda. Hi, Juliana. Hello. Hello, hello. So we're just going around. And then, like I said, when I get to that one spot. Okay, let me ask this real quick. Who is painting with me? I know Judy is. Cece, are you painting tonight? I love it when you guys paint with me. When you paint with me, you know that you're supposed to send me. Kara, I love it. You're crocheting. Cool. I ask that whatever you guys are doing that you share with me. All right, so like I said before, I'm going to pause and eyeball what I'm doing here. So 1, 2, and I know I can always add more paint like that. Ooh, these colors are pretty. This, but listen here. You know, you guys are always challenging me. I'm going to have plenty. We can always do it on a black background too. The original color is Paradise Green with natural buff. So, thank you for the follow, Cat Mac. Listen, like I said, I normally, thank you for the follow, Willie B. Normally, everything I've ever done has been on a black background. I know. That was just like I'm winging it. So there is, the only thing I planned today was the base coat because I knew I had to paint it and then let it dry so that we could have, I could draw my guide marks. I don't plan anything other than that. I mean, yes, do I know I'm going to start the center a certain way? Kind of, but there's no rhyme or reason. It's just out of habit. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2. Yeah, let's see what happens with this color. So I'm actually going to stick with the large end of the white, only because I see it's kind of spreading. So let's see what happens. Same thing. I'm just going to start my dots. So if I want them a little bigger, I can just tap, tap, tap. Okay. Not much color variation in these, right? What I'm going to do in between those is micro dots, and I'll show you what that looks like. It just, yes. And that's, oh, what a mess. Oh, you know, do you know how to fix that, Judy? Do you have some Q-tips? Sometimes you got to learn how to fix the messes. Do you want me to show you how to fix them? Because you have to do it quick. Yeah. Yep. And roll it towards you. But you have to do it when those paints first go together, because if they start to dry at all, it becomes a little more difficult. And again, you know, Jen, what we do independently of each other is we're not the same. So like what I have like works for me may not work for you. Just like swooshes. Oh my God. I've had so many recommendations on how to do a swoosh. I could write a book. But it's all variable. The key is that you find your own flow. What's comfortable. I mean, you don't want to be stressed out when you're painting. Again, remember I'm pausing here, kind of, to make. Hopefully they don't run together. So hopefully those two don't run together. Oh, I love these colors. Okay, so let me grab my pattern book and let's try and look at it. So we have done some patterns together. And I would like to know which patterns, oh boy, let me get this out of the way, hopefully, because I can't really lay it down because on the other side it's wet. Yeah, boy. Let me do it like this. I'm going to turn you guys up. So I'm thinking we could do this pattern next. This one here. What do you think? Thank you for joining the fan club, Lulu. You like this pattern? Or we can do, it can't be too big. I mean, we could do the walking dots as well. The first one? Okay. So it's a dot, walking dots, and swooshes. Okay. And let's just, out of curiosity, see what color this ends up being. So I'm going to take, now this part can be a little bit, hang on, there we go. So you're going to do every other. Yeah, because I think if we do this one, it's a little too big. Okay, let's do this size. So you're going to do basically a center dot, okay? Good amount of paint. And we're doing every other. But you're going to give yourself a little bit of a space above that. You don't want to go all the way down. So, and that's what these guide marks are used for. So that now as you go around, you can line up your guide marks. And it's every other. I like walking dots too. I like micro dots and walking dots. Swooshes are, my nemesis. I do them. And they've taken me a while, but I do them. Now, it'll be interesting to see what color this actually dries because it's pretty light. It may be too close to the palette. I mean, the background. So we're doing every other guide mark. Now, that's one of the reasons that I use this stencil, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16-point stencil. Because if you used a different amount of points, it may not come out the way you plan. What? Why does it keep saying tablet last color? Highlight it with a little darker color. Yeah, we can. What number color is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. Sorry. 5. I should probably mark these, but yeah, 5. Why does it say tablet? Oh, it says tablet after your name. Got it. That's funny. I'm like, why does it keep saying tablet? Okay. Should we use the tiger lily? Or should we use the copper penny? The copper, stick with the copper. Lily, okay, we got a couple. Copper and lily. Lily. I know, I think we've quickly turned, okay, all right. Tiger lily got. I think we've all come to love number 2, pink. Lily, all right, we're going to use the tiger lily. You have, that's fine. Bright orange works. Do you need me to wait, Judy, while you get that? You got it? Okay. I love that you guys are being interactive, especially those of you that are new here. I love that because that is really what I want from this community, because I could do the same thing and just sit here and paint and just do whatever, but I want you guys to throw things at me. Again, you guys have thrown me out of my comfort zone many times, but this is your community. I want you to grow, and I always say you may outgrow me, and go and move on, but I would like to grow together. Yes, like as a top dot. So maybe we might get there. But yeah, I would like to use that copper again. Absolutely, I agree. Okay, so I'm just using the small end of the yellow again. I sound really congested. I have been congested, and now, like I said, I have a fever, so I'm not very happy. All right, so we're doing walking dots. Am I in frame? Okay, good. So walking dots is just that. You're not getting any more paint after each dot. You're just walking around. Okay. You'll be here forever. Judy, I love it. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. Oh. Like I said, my goal is that people come here and they feel like they can engage with each other and ask questions and know even if I don't answer it, somebody else is going to answer it. They're comfortable. They don't feel silly or dumb or any of, I want people to be happy here. I mean, the girl I learned from, is a great human, and I am forever grateful for what she does and what she did. She is a phenomenal. Now, I will say, though, that she paints for a living. Like, her livelihood, hang on a minute, this one is a little lame. Her livelihood is her painting. Rose. I appreciate that, Lisa. I like I said, I can't play music because I don't want to. For me, that would be overstimulating. I just come here and I paint. Yeah. No, that's not who I learned from. Unfortunately, my teacher is not on this platform, so I can't really say her name. But if you want to send me a message, I can send you who it is. Because she's not on the platform, I don't know if you know how this platform is really weird. They don't want me to talk about anything off the platform. But yeah, if you shoot me a message, again, it should be like on the left-hand bottom corner. I've sent it to other people. No, I did not learn from her. She is. But I'm a little biased. Like you, if you look at who I learned from and how I am, you would know why I like her so much. When you click with somebody, you just click with them, and she's really good. But she's out in Utah. So if anybody knows who I'm talking about, wants to drop it in the chat for Joanna. That would be good. Okay, now we're going to do swooshes. So let's go ahead and do this primary color. So I want to make sure, I'm going to stick with, thank you for the community heart and liking the live. It's okay. There it is. Thank you, Cece. I appreciate you. Judy, it's okay. Right? It's okay. You're going to modify it. You're going to modify, and you're just going to do an extra swoosh or something. Or in between, you're just going to do a swoosh. You're fine. Okay, so I am going to just stick with the large end of the yellow because I want to make sure I have enough space. So we're going to do a dot. I'm coming up just a little bit, okay? And then I go back into my paint and I kind of do another dot, and then I start to push the paint around. Don't push too hard and push slow. If you push too hard, you're going to put a divot in your wood, and then you're going to get aggravated. Slowly push your paint around. Judy. Yeah, it's a little tight for me. That's why I'm sticking with the smaller tool. Oh my goodness. See, I love it because between everybody we have a perfect piece. So again, using the guide marks, I'm staying below and I'm keeping everything in line. I think I have like a hair or something. What is that? I don't know what that is. It looks like, oh, it's probably from when I did my, see if I could fit it around. And again, sometimes I mean, I'm live, so like I said, sometimes I have to modify what I'm doing. But I want to show you guys as much as I can. Now, if you're new here, we don't usually finish a 6-inch round in one live. This usually takes us 2 nights. And if you're also new here, I am live usually Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, until 10:30ish. It just kind of depends, but usually I try to get off by 10:30 because by that time it's kind of late. And then sometimes it depends on what we're doing, but sometimes we take a vote if we're going to finish the piece or do something different. We have a pre-planned project for Thursday, which is finishing up a purple round. So we'll finish this up. This was a special request. All right. Thank you, BG, for being here. I appreciate you. It's good seeing you. But yeah, so we'll finish this up on Thursday night. Like I said, the community member can only be here on Thursdays, so I already promised her we would just finish that on Thursday. So those of you that are new here, do you have any questions? If you do, put them in the chat. If I don't see them, somebody else may answer them for you. Now, if you're doing the swooshes and you're having a hard time, slow down. Slow down. Because if you go too fast, the paint does not have enough time to come off your tool. Slow down. I remember being doing this and rushing. You have to slow down. Oh, thank you for the greeting heart. I missed that. Gosh, I love these colors. Thank you for the heart, me. These are new colors well, I shouldn't say new colors for me, but painting with them together is kind of new. Well, we did a little bit on our practice pad, or practice page, rather. I foresee me doing, actually, I lied. I am lying. You guys chat. Chat in the chat. Don't quit chatting. I want to show you a hat. Hang on a minute. chatting, because if you don't, TikTok thinks I'm not here. I'm here. Hang on, I'm here. See, I'm here. Oh, wait, I think I got rid of it. Hold on a minute. I think I did send it to somebody. So, yeah, oh no, here's, well, it's not really the same one. So, have you ever seen like wood burning hats? Like where they, would burn, like designs on hats and stuff like that? If you have, then you'll kind of understand where I'm coming from. Okay, so I fell for, I wanted to get into wood burning hats, okay? And so I bought a bunch of hats for like a really, I thought like a steal. Well, they're mostly polyester, so you know what happens when you try and burn polyester? It melts. So, anyway, I think I did. Oh my goodness. I thought I still had the hat. I must have, I did send one to a friend. But anyways, so I ended up doing dot art on these hats. And one of the ones actually was more of these colors we're working with, which is this one here. So it just made me think of it. I'm like, I've never painted with those colors before, but I kind of have. But anyways, I thought that was a funny story. Yeah, it melts. It definitely does. Anywho, so I had, I don't know how many hats, 25 hats. Whatever. You know how crafters are. And not only does it melt, but it stinks too. So anyways, I came up with the idea to paint them. And I mean, it worked. It just wasn't what I had originally planned on doing with them. Oh my goodness. Back to swooshes. Remember, slow and steady gets that paint around. I know, I do love these colors. I really do. So, if you have an issue with swooshes, oh, good. Be the turtle. Exactly. You have to, if you don't, you just rush in the paint, and the paint has no time to come off your tool. So be the turtle, just take your time, push it around. And that is why I recommend the paper, because I feel like working with swooshes on the paper is very helpful. Very helpful. Pretty colors. Very pretty. Oh. And I always say, if you make a mistake, by the time you're done with your project, nobody's going to even notice it. Hi, Amber. How are you? You like the custom palette ombre best? Me too. Thank you for the follow. Hi, PK. How are you? Yes, thank you for hopping in. We are working on our design. So we're going to add one more element, which is going to be very tight because Judy Judy overreacted. Hilarious, Judy. You have definitely mastered the TikTok. That's good. I'm glad. Thank you for joining us again. Isn't the colors beautiful? Okay. So we'll go middle of the color range here. And honestly, I think I'm going to stick with the small end of the yellow so that I can get a real fine swoosh in there. We'll see. Pretty, aren't they? I feel like you guys have a little bit of glare. Hang on a minute. Let's see what happens when I dim that light. No, not really. Doesn't really change. That's more, I think that's more realistic. Pretty. Thank you for the wink wink and the TikTok. That's the thing about lighting in here. I can never really be certain what you guys are seeing, but it is wood, Nancy. It is a really inexpensive wood round. This is 6-inch. Really inexpensive, thin. Okay, well that's good. And I did turn the light down a little bit. Sometimes it's, like I said, I don't notice it until I notice it. Okay, so now if you remember this pattern, we do a dot, and a dot. Now I need more paint, but dot and a dot. Okay? And this is going to take me a little bit because these are going to be long. Remember, we're going to take our time to get around like that. Third one. Number 3. And I'm still using the same tool, but I'm going to take, wow, you guys are tapping away. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. But you have to take your time and push that paint. If you don't, it's just not going to make it around. Pretty. You guys, let me tell you what. Judy, 50 minutes. We know. Absolutely lies. Maybe it's because you're on your tablet tonight. I think it's just because you're on your tablet. Hilarious. I'm like, 50 minutes? That is impossible. Oh my gosh. So a dot, and I do a triangle because that helps me make sure that everything stays lined up. Oh, we know it's not true, Judy. We know you're a habitual offender. So scooching that paint around. Here we go. And then this is one of those like I said, when you guys do these, this is one of those things where you're going to be like, they're going to touch, and it's not the end of the world. You're just going to go, and it's going to be what it is. Okay? It is what it is. It's pretty. Nobody's going to know the difference. Trust me. Nobody will know the difference. Triangle dots. You don't have to do it this way. I just find that if I don't, things don't line up. So tap, tap, tap some of that paint off and slowly come around. Okay, tap some of that paint off. Well, I need a little bit more. There we go. And again, some of this will just become muscle memory where you're like, oh yeah, that I already know that's not enough paint. And you're just going to go get another little bit of paint. Thank you for the follow, Ashley, and the heart, or the rose. I appreciate you. Are you sure there? I feel like there's a huge glare on that. It looks good to you guys? Just seems so glary when I look at it from my laptop. Okay. All right, good. Thank you, Cindy. Okay. All right, good. Like I said, it just, when I look at it on my laptop, it just has such a glare on it. So we'll just keep going around. Oh, that's not enough. All right, and we'll start pushing that around. There we go. I swear, we laugh about our AC unit. It's so loud when it comes on. Yeah, I definitely want to throw some more copper in there. I agree, it would really look good as a top dot on these lighter color dots. But I can't put it on there just yet, because it'll make a mess. You don't want to paint in the dark? No. No, I don't. I mean, unless maybe we're using glow-in-the-dark paints. That would be different. So, making my triangle. Okay. And those of you that are new, a lot of mandala, the mandala style dot art is, everything is based on like a flower shape, primarily like a lotus shape or a petal shape. So you'll see that many of the patterns that we use in a way, if you look at them, look like flowers, flower petals. And then in doing certain designs, you end up with that 3D effect. With neon, I don't have, I mean, I have colors, I guess, that could be considered neon. I think for me, my painting style is more of that. And I hate to use the word pastel, but I like that ombre look. I like that variation with like pops of color in there. But that's just me. I mean, and then I think for the sake of the live, so that a lot of, anybody that's new coming in doesn't think they need to like go buy 5 different colors of paint, which, I talk about that all the time. I feel like you can make your own custom color palette with a primary color and a light color, which is what we did tonight. And then you end up, yes, I'm using a metallic and the tiger lily, but you don't have to. Hi, Nan. This is what I have. Basic craft paint. If you don't have that brand available to you, I would recommend practicing with whatever you have available to you. And what I mean by that is that you should practice with one brand of paint, because every brand of paint has a different paint consistency. And if you're just learning, that can be frustrating from working with one that's thinner and one that's thicker. So whatever brand it is, I would recommend practicing with that for a while. And then once you get comfortable with, what you're doing, yeah. Okay. Yeah. And this is just the regular acrylic. It's not like a multi-surface or anything. But whatever you have available to you is what I suggest you practice with. They all have a little bit of their own thing. Like when you use this primary color and mix it with a lighter color, it gets thinner. So, but I wouldn't recommend doing that for somebody who's going to use a couple of different paint brands, if that makes sense. There we go. Push that last one around. There we go. All right. So you can do a couple of different things here. Let me look at this for a second. So you could do a swoosh, a few swooshes in here. You could do walking dots here and a swoosh. What do you guys want to see? Do you want to see the cluster of swooshes in the middle here? Which is like, so it would be a swoosh, swoosh, and a swoosh. Or do you want to see walking dots and maybe a swoosh? Swoosh and walking dots? Yeah, because I don't think we normally do that. So I'm going to pull out the bronzed penny. Teardrop with a swoosh. And okay. Okay, cluster of swooshes. Walking dogs. Everything. I know, PK, couldn't help myself. I'm going to do walking dots Just trying to figure out what I want to do. Okay, I'm going to actually upsize. I'm going to go to the white, and I'm going to use the large end of the white. I know, it's hilarious. And it's, I mean, I know exactly what, like, it's walking dots. TikTok, walking dots. I might need to get some more paint in here. Hang on a minute. There's a big clump. Let's see if that helps now. Now, when you're painting, okay, you should not be hitting the bottom of your paint pot. If you're hitting a pink swoosh, oh, with one of these colors, hot dogs walking bats, yeah. So this is a walking dot. So PK, this is what we're going to do. All right. Again, I wing all of this. I don't have any plans. So we're going to do walking dots. Just like that. But I do need to get more. That's just not enough. It's too much, too annoying. Hang on one second. That's glorious gold. I'm going to grab every color but what I need. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I lied, everybody. It's rich espresso. Oh, my goodness. It's rich espresso. No, is it not? No, that's copper penny. Hang on. Oh my goodness. I'm literally going to grab every color but. Wait, is it up here? Is that why I can't find it? Hold on a minute. Why can't I find it? It's not that. Oh, wait. Worn penny, not copper penny. Worn penny. I found it. Worn penny. There we go. All right. That should be good now. Worn penny, not copper penny. All right. So, again, walking dots. I'm just going across from... I want to try and keep everything. I wonder if that was a different color in there than what I thought. I don't know. We're going to find out. I don't have bronze. So I don't know. I think it's worn penny. But you want to keep your dots. Wait, you know what? Did I not put it in the book? Hang on a minute. Let's look, because that's what the book is for, right? Oh, I did not put it in the book. That's why you put everything in the book. All right, well, we're going to just keep going with worn penny. So, again, keeping everything in that same line, okay? Just walking dots. Either way, it's a pretty color. Again, that is why you keep your palette journal, so you know exactly what you're doing. So if you're new here, say hello in the chat. Too late. I use Warren Penny. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know what I mean. Yeah, Cece likes Cooper. Oh my goodness. I enjoy you guys so much. It's so interesting how in a world of I can't hear you guys talking, but your personalities shine through in the chat. And I'm just the only one talking. I just think it's so cool that this community has become such a fantastic place. I just think that's so cool. Like I said, once you guys feel like you're ready to paint live, you don't have to show us what you're painting while you're painting it. But if you are ready to get in a box and have everybody be able to chat with you or at you, however you want to look at it, we're getting there. Judy. I think you could host a live, Judy. Oh. Okay. You have tomorrow night off? Okay. Well, we'll figure that out together. Yeah, so we'll use the exact same color palette. Now, what we're talking about is that basically whoever comes up in a box would be, we're all going to be using the same color palette. Doesn't mean we're painting on a round. Somebody could be painting on a stone, a 4-inch round, whatever. They're going to paint their own thing. They're just going to use the same color palette. That's the only criteria. And then, so PK, it is actually a combination, a very, very, very light, like a drop or two of this color, Paradise Green, with mostly natural buff. So this is what it ended up looking like before I painted. I mean, very, very light. And as you can see, it definitely darkened up on the wood. But me being new to painting on something other than black, I didn't know what to do, so we went with it. Okay, So we'll, like I said, we can either shoot for tomorrow night or we can shoot for the Thursday night when we're finishing up the purple. Yes, definitely not white. It's got a very, very little bit of green in it. All right, we'll shoot for that. We'll try and figure out how that works. Excited. Look at you guys go. Look at you guys go. Yeah, and then like the goal would be that we would paint live, and like you don't have to show what you're painting at this like live. We'll just be on live chit-chatting or whatever, and then at the very end you would reveal like what you painted. So I think that would be fun. That's fine. I mean, I think the thing was that we just chose green. So your green, my green, we don't have to be exact. I think that as long as we stick with the main color theme, like Thursday we know is purple, tonight we picked green. Not everybody's going to have the exact same color green. And that's why I tell you, I don't want you to go out and think you have to buy all of these colors. Buy one that you like and use it. So tomorrow, I think we'll keep working on, I would just stick with the green palette. I know I'm throwing in other things, but you don't have to, right? Unless we want to wait until Thursday where we all just keep working with the purple. I don't know that too many people, or do we want to just start Sunday and do that? Where we all just start clean, new clean slate, start with the color palette. I'm open to suggestions. Or we can try it tomorrow and see what happens and then progress from there. Okay, so we have room here for a couple of swooshes, right? So let's do that. I'm thinking we probably need to stick with a smaller swoosh. You can do Thursday and Sunday. Okay. Yeah, I agree, Judy. Like, I figure we should finish this. If somebody, yeah. So let's do that. We'll finish this the way we're doing it. And then we'll, those of you, because some people did start the purple palette with me, whatever day that was, Thursday, whatever day that was. So yeah, I agree. We'll finish this up. I agree. Okay. So I'm going to do a couple swooshes. So let's go a little light. So I'm going to do a swoosh. And again, I'm keeping my swoosh below or at those lines. Judy, this is the number 5. So the lightest one. Okay, and I'm just going to go around and do that swoosh. Some of my dots got a little wonky there. I feel like this lighter color may show up I'm not 100% sure yet. I haven't decided. We'll see how it dries tomorrow. So if you guys have the same or a similar color palette and you're working with a green color palette and you do want to try and get try what I'm saying, we can practice tomorrow with that. We'll still keep working on what we're painting. Oh, that's a little wonky. Oops. There we go. Not quite where I wanted it to be. I swiped out I'm sick. Back not sick. What do you mean you're sick? Oh, you're back. You're back not sick. Oh my gosh. We're all going to be just fine, Judy. Everybody's fine in this community. Everybody's fine. Nothing to see here. Move on. Oh my goodness. Let me start over here. I almost feel like that is way too light, but we're going to go with it. So I'm just doing a swoosh down that path. And on these, I'm actually going a little faster because I don't have as far to go, so I'm going a little faster. And the other problem I have is that paint is not dry. So that one blended together. So that's another reason to go a little faster. Dog dots, cop, Cooper. Yeah, everything is fine. Exactly. Just keep going. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so if you're the reason I'm going faster is because that paint. Hang on a minute. Let's fix that. Where's my Q-tips? I'm going to try and fix that. All right, let's go back. Fix that a little bit. Okay. I went a little too close. There we go. Exactly. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let me put this up here. Pretty. Now, I don't know how these colors are going to dry, so that'll be kind of for tomorrow. What time do we have? Oh, good. We have plenty of time. I think what I'll do is I'll do a row so that when we come back on tomorrow, we'll start our outer row. So we'll do that. And then, oh, let's do some micro dots. Let's do that. Okay. I think I'm going to use the primary color and do micro dots. Yeah, I think I'm going to do micro dots here. And this is the small end of the pink tool. Small end of the pink tool. Well, there we go. And all that does is fill in that space, add a little extra dimension. Like I said, I love micro dots, are my favorite. It just is just enough. To add a pop of color and that extra dimension. There we go. My dots were getting kind of big as I was going. Okay, so let's do an outer ring of dots. Let's go with this smaller. Let's see. Let's go with this smaller acrylic rod. Judy, if you're painting along, it's, or whoever is, it's the middle of the clear acrylic rods. Okay, so there are 3 different sizes, small, medium, and large. It's the medium one. You want me to do Lily? The lily? You want some color in there? Is that the vote? Everybody wants to see Lily in there. Like in here. I have to wait for it to dry. But I could do that. I would just have to wait for it to dry. It's too wet. You want to see Lily in there? All right, so we'll do Lily as our break circle. And again, it's the same thing. You need enough paint, and you're just going to go around. You can also do like micro dots in between these dots too. Oops, I went a little too low on that last one. So remember, oranges and certain colors dry like a translucent color. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I see how they're drying here, so they're not as translucent when it's a different color background, which is interesting. Like normally this dries like on the black, like you can barely see it, but because it's got the lighter background, you can actually see it, which is cool. So every dot gets a new dip in the paint. Don't try and do a dot and another dot. You're not going to get the dots you want. You want to go back into that paint. You want enough. You want it to be domed. That gives it a little bit of an extra dimension. Thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate that. Where are we at? 34,000 likes, you guys have tap tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's hard to tap and paint. It's hard to tap and paint. But you guys are doing it. I appreciate you. I love how the back... Yeah, I agree. Very cool. And I think instead of doing a swoosh in there, maybe I'll do... Gosh, I don't know. I want to see how that's going to dry before I do anything in there. I might do a swoosh of copper down the center to make that pop again because it's kind of light. And like I said, if you are touching the bottom in your paint, you need more paint. It's going to inhibit your drop of paint. You don't want to be hitting the bottom of your paint palette or your paint pot, which I am doing right now. It'll actually can make your dot not come out uniform. And like I said, I'm just finishing this with this row of dots, and then we'll talk a little bit about going forward with like the next design element. Don't really have enough room to do the diamond shape, so I think we'll do like a floral pattern, which is also, I mean, the diamond is also a floral pattern, but we'll see what we have when we get there. I will say, though, that when you paint on a lighter color background, everything, like the mistakes are a little more, to me, evident. Like I have paint splatters and stuff like that. Okay. Whew, all right, so 2, right? So I'm going to do a small one and a small one and tap out my paint. There we go. So yeah, so where this is drying relatively light and almost the exact same colors, I'll probably come in there with something. Pretty, right? They really are. Really vibrant. Let me touch that. I think Let me look and see what I have for paint here. Put this away. Oh my goodness. I was gonna look and see. Oh, let me close that. Yeah, I really don't have a dimensional paint that would go with that at all. Nope. Okay, never mind. Okay. Okay, so I think, thank you for the, mind blown. Oh, I've never seen that before. That was cool. Yeah, so I think what I would do here is a contrasting swoosh color. I can't do it now because they're wet, but I think I would do, I might actually even do like this color over that, just to give it a dimension. But I want to do a top dot here, but I don't necessarily want to do copper because that really isn't our theme color. Our theme color is the green. But if I do the top dot, let me look here. I'm just trying to see what color I would use. Let me grab my book here. I want to see something here. Okay, so that is that really light color. So that's this one. So just trying to see. So what I'm trying to do is determine what top dot, because that needs some color. But I don't necessarily want to use the orange because we did the walking dots around. So I'm thinking this color would be good. The fourth one. So let's, you know what? What is it gonna hurt no matter what, right? It's not gonna hurt anything. Yeah, the only reason I wouldn't do the green color is because we have this original swoosh. So I'm trying to keep a color gradient, but I almost feel like, because this is this color. So it's kind of like, I don't know. Oh, and that's too big. So I got to use the other one, the medium one. Sometimes you don't know until you get the drop of paint on there. That's pretty light too. Okay. Let me get a Q-tip. Let's get that off of there. So if you've never had to erase a mistake, you need a bunch of Q-tips. And then you roll it towards you. I may do the original green color. Let's see what it looks like. I can always take it off. could you do a dimensional green? I could, but I only really have the green I have. I don't know that I think it really goes. See, I have this one. And then I have blue. I don't really have, you know what I mean? I mean, I have that, but that doesn't match either. All right, Jen, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for being here. So we'll just do the original green color. Let's give it a shot. I think you were right. What about the... Well, I didn't want to use too much of the orange because our primary color was green. Make a green between the two. I think the original green is going to work. I think that with that orange and the space, I think that works. Sometimes I'm never sure until I do it. But I think Catherine was right. Right? Was that Catherine who said that? Yes. Perfect. Pretty. Yep. It does look good. See, this is why you all are here with me. Yep. That was a great choice. And then I can't do anything on those swooshes, but they need some color. We'll let that dry. And we'll do that tomorrow. I think I'm going to do, what time do we have? Oh, we got a couple of minutes. Let's do micro dots here. Okay, in between the orange with the original green. Oh, oops. Stop. I tested it. It's really wet. So we'll do the original green in between these and do micro dots this way. And it just adds a little, like I said, pop of color, dimension. Breaks up that space. You mean in here? I mean, I could do walking dots. I could do walking dots, which would break that up. I thought I used two different colors, but I almost wonder now if I needed to stir one of them. I think one of them got separated too much. Yeah, I think I needed to stir them, which is it's a good lesson. Something to point out when you do these custom palettes. Sometimes if you don't stir them quite right or enough, they will separate out. So those of you... CC, that's what I said. I think microdots. Okay. So those of you that are new here, I will be live again tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until we're done. Usually it's somewhere around 10, might be 10:30, just depends on what's happening. I'm usually live Sunday through Thursday. I tend to take Friday and Saturdays off. I'm also in school, so this week I actually have a quiz on Friday. Well, I can take it anytime, but I like to try and take it as soon as I can. Although I haven't really studied. I really need to study. So that's on my plans for tomorrow before we go live. I'll be studying, trying to get caught up with that. And then, yeah, so tomorrow, whoever's ready, we'll try and make that work. From what I remember, it was pretty easy to bring somebody on, but we'll have to see. Somebody else did it. Somebody else brought me live, so I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty easy. So hopefully it's easy. So, does anybody have any questions? Studying is good. I have studied for so long. I am so studied out. And for me, because I was a neonatal ICU nurse and now I'm working towards a family nurse practitioner, I feel like I've literally had to relearn everything I learned in nursing school and more. And I mean, I've worked in peds too, but not like acute peds, not where like your kid is sick and you come into the doctor's office. When I say peds, I've worked with like chronic kiddos with trachs and G tubes and seizures and stuff like that. So not well children, if that makes sense. So I've had to learn a lot, and I'm still learning, and I'm enjoying it. I love it. As a matter of fact, I ordered a suture practice kit to learn how to do sutures because I didn't know I needed to learn that. But I've done like skin biopsies, and another skill is putting in sutures. And it was weird because I'd been in clinical for months, and my preceptor was like, yeah, you might want to like learn how to do sutures. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, you might have. Sure enough, the other day, 2 people back to back needed sutures, and the PA got to do them. And I'm like, okay, I'm sold. I need to learn how to do sutures. I thought it was so cool. I mean, one of them was really bad, like kind of gross. He was a cool guy, old guy, but pretty. So, like I said, I'm not 100% sure what I'll do here. I'm going to let that set until tomorrow. We'll let it fully dry, but pretty. Very pretty, right? Again, you guys keep challenging me on these backgrounds that are not black. So looking ahead in our pattern book. So I think we're going to have to do, that's wet. I think we're going to have to do something like a walking dot petal here. One, two, let me, I can't quite do it. The book is wet. So let's look and see real quick. So we would do, let me see. I don't know if this is, so you would do, that's too big. So, yeah. Probably about here, one. And we would do every guide mark. I think that was the right color. Warren Penny. Because now that it's drying, it's right. Yeah, so we're going to do, we'll do every guide mark. And then we'll do the walking dot petal, and then probably have to finish. Let's see if we do every, let me look, see, so if we do every, 1, 2, 3, yeah, we'll just end up having to do some swooshes in here just to fill that in. But I think that's it. Yes, Rebecca, if you send me that message through that orange box, it should be on my supply, or what do I call it? Shopping list, whatever it's called. I don't even know what it's called anymore. But yes, and I think it should come in like a pack. So it should come like this, which I highly recommend this pack. It is, because if you do smaller ones, you'll want this size, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Good night, Judy. Thank you for being here. But it comes with, it says 5 pieces. I don't know which the 5th piece is. I don't necessarily use these two. There's just not enough vertical guide marks. These are the 2 that I use the most. Oh my gosh, I can't even pick it up. So this is one. So the goal is that you have, for larger mandalas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 points. Okay. And then this one is, what did I say it was? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Yeah, so the reason being is because this spacing allows you to do a lot of this. Even when you get into bigger ones, even when you get, let me put this back up. So when you get into the bigger ones, okay, it allows you to have enough spacing to do your bigger. But then when you're closer, it gives you space to do your other designs. Good night, Wanda. Good night. Oh, everybody's good nighting. But it is about that time. So if you have any questions, you guys know how to reach me. I'm pretty responsive on here, even if you go to my profile and do a message. Good night, Kara. I appreciate you all for being here. But yes, if you have any questions, just message me, ask. And then what I will do again is upload. I figured out how to do it. There won't be any editing. Everything like that happened in the live will be uploaded, and then it will be in that area that I have mentioned. If you are having a problem getting there, let me know, and I will shoot you a message. But good night. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you for the follows, the likes. You guys have tapped tonight so much. Hi, Dee. Good night, Dee. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will finish this one up. Oh, I just realized that's a little off, but whatever. Nobody's going to notice tomorrow. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. All right, Lori, see you tomorrow. Thank you for the follow, Pookie. Thank you. Yes, it's a group effort here. I'm so glad you found me too, Rebecca. I'm glad. Welcome. Thank you for the follow, Trisha. I appreciate that. So yes, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, so this is a custom color palette that we made tonight. And if you come back tomorrow, we'll talk a little bit more about it. But usually every project we make some sort of custom color palette. Thursday night we're gonna finish up a purple palette that we started. We'll finish up this one. But this was also a custom color palette. Thank you for the follow, Trisha. So we try and do a custom palette every night, or every project, I should say. I like to show you guys how to do that. Yes, thank you. But again, it's a group effort. It's a group effort in here. So yeah, I'm live usually every Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern until 10-ish. Sometimes it's a little later, like now. It just depends on when we finish up. So if you have any questions, you're welcome to message me. Otherwise, I'm going to sign off for now. I hate doing that with 70 of you on here. But it's time for bed. Actually, it's time to clean up and then go to bed. Good night, Cece. I appreciate you. All right, everybody. Well, I am going to sign off for tonight. I hope to see you all here tomorrow night. If you have any questions in the meantime, message me and I will get back to you. All right, Rebecca. See you later. Good night. Thank you for the follow.